Good evening, Zelda 1 Randomizer fans. We have another race in our Swiss pairings for the 2023 Random Percent Tournament. We have Sigil versus eatmysteel. I'm Kairos. Joined with me is Magic Friends.
I hope all of you got another drink and got back to your viewing screens because we're ready to go.
And on the back end of it, we got Pedantic Potato doing the track-in, hitting those buttons. And glad to have SpeedGaming allowing us to take up all this time to give you these fabulous races. I believe this is a 1-in-1 matchup right now, and we just got that updated, and we're starting off our bracelet spot near start.
Yep, both these runners are 1-1, looking to jump back ahead into the winner side of the bracket. And we're starting with the blue banana as well, but it doesn't look like we have 0 HP enemies, so gonna have to work for it a little bit.
And we have 4 and 7 or their counterparts for starting Triforces. And no wood sword at the vanilla location, so they're gonna have to go find it elsewhere.
Well, at least we're going to get some free candles in this seed, so that'll help save us money. We haven't quite figured out what the overworld blocks are. For any of you that are just joining in, this is random percent, so us commentators are discovering what is going on in the seed right alongside you, and the runners are also figuring it out as they go along.
A very cheap bait, a reasonable price key, and I just read it for the articles, meaning we're going to have the book to understand what anybody's saying.
So it looks like Sigil's going to try and make a run at Death Armos with that extra hit point, whereas eatmysteel's going to give us our first look at what our overworld might be.
We know exactly what it is. With the green entrance there, we have a second quest mix.
So that means there's only going to be one large secret, and there's going to be an extra door repair charge as well. And that's up near Death Armos, so that means we have random warp zones and a red ring on the coast. Ooh.
Oh, that's a terrible screen to get any rows. 2Q7. Gotta go around.
So eatmysteel was able to find his sword down here on the very far, that southwest corner spot. And with Sigil finding the teleport roads, it might be a while for Sigil to get back down into that corner.
Alright, Deadwood's first level 7. And already feeling a little bit of, let's see, maybe some second quest love?
Yeah, three rooms in a row. This is feeling very second questy.
We have Triforces either 4 or 5 and 7 or 8. And if it holds true for a second quest level 7, that means that would be a level 8 that we started with.
So since we have the back half as second quest, that's definitely 7, and we're still questionable on 4 or 5. Because 7 is both, that's the slot for 7 on both first and second, and for all second.
The back half it was on Triforce 7 for our first quest, so because the second quest will be a Triforce 8.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. But yeah, it is. Yeah, so we know that one. We still don't know the 4-5 one.
Right.
Okay, eatmysteel finally getting a first bomb pack, so they'll be able to start manufacturing bombs here. It looks like bombs are kind of rare on our drops. Oh, they're coming from the mob ones, so that's fine.
Yeah, they can still be shuffled, but it's less likely now. We've seen a normal bomb dropper with it, and so I believe our Arnold time is going to be up at the vanilla location.
A 13 small secret isn't too bad, especially when there's going to be more small secrets than normal, and we don't quite have as much. But the grave is also hiding level 5, and that's a weird looking level 5 start. Oh, with the bomb hole, this looks pretty vanilla. Level 1 or first quest.
All right, letter at Letter Cave.
eatmysteel making great use of that banana to get the compass off of those Gibdos and just walk away from them. But this is not a room that I would want to fight ever. Even give me mags and a red ring, and I don't know if I like that room. Well, that doesn't change anything either. We don't want that room either. Give us something to do.
We just saw a 165 shield, so no boomstick tonight. Oh, whiteout.
I don't even know how that happens. What was that?
It's the same thing. You'll see that bug happen when you take damage or when you're like rescuing Zelda. But it's I haven't seen that very often, if ever, in just normal play.
Well, that's our first item and our staircase item is a heart, so we know that the coast heart got shuffled in, so that could just be the coast heart, but you don't like seeing hearts in staircases.
Yeah, could very well be heart shuffle, could be the coast heart. We'll see pretty soon, I expect. And that is a first quest on the front end, so we definitely have 4.
So eatmysteel is actually key blocked out of that 5. There's a meat block or an old man blocking one side, and then the only way to go through the rest of it is to go through the key door into the shoot room, which then has another key door on the other side of it.
And we definitely have our second quest enemies, those ropes flashing like that. And heart container on the floor in the desert room there.
So that means both of our runners now are at a very good shot at being able to pick up a white sword item if they find it on the overworld. Looks like Sigil found a dig doctor block of some kind in 2.
That's an unshuffled power bracelet there.
And Sigil's out of 2. Got the Triforce, but is on their way. eatmysteel up to 6 hearts, so that's going to lock in their ability to pick up that white sword when they find it.
Yeah, definitely calling out the extra bosses. And level 9, right next to the starting location.
Yeah, that'll make it easy for our runners to route back here whenever they finish the dungeon. They can just obey and jump back here. Sigil still, we're 9 minutes in. Sigil still hasn't gotten down to that southeast corner or southwest corner to get their sword yet, and it's gonna be a minute before they do, because they're gonna be checking all these candle spots first and try to clear out the overworld as they go.
But 5 hearts, we got a white sword wand.
All right, we don't need it anymore, really. I mean,
We can put a hold on that sword for now.
if we get enough hearts, then we can just pick up Max, and that'll be fine.
And eatmysteel also finds the wonderfulness of this second quest 7 any road location. Like, maybe a HUD clip if you can. Oh yeah, I can just burn it and go in the other door. And that gets us up to the West Death Mountain. That was a vanilla mid secret, even though we have shuffled secrets.
Alright, there's the wand for eatmysteel, so combat parity back to even, except for that whole, like, A button not working on Sigil's side. Yes, it's really hard because I don't know when Sigil heads back there with all the overworld exploration they're doing. And now, as long as we don't see a lot of Wizroad dungeons, they can clear most of this stuff. Oh, eatmysteel takes a Lionel sword beam to the side of the head just as they were getting towards First Quest 1. So that's going to cause them to reset and check this power bracelet. Maybe even go coast side and check that as well.
Yeah, it looks like we're vanilla starting locations on the dungeons.
So there's the power bracelet check for Kairos, or for your Kairos, for Sigil.
Ooh, 96 arrows, 33 bombs.
Yeah, like, this is the seed, this is the kind of seed where you're like, I found the wand this early, please be boomstick, please, 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 please. Nope.
And just north of Vanilla Start, we have level 8. 35 rooms, Spiraling of Doom.
Alright, so now Sigil with that wand finally able to get their bomb count up and can start checking a lot of these bomb locations they've been running past.
So how many required items in that 8 that we already have a Triforce?
I'm gonna guess that the ladder's in that 8. And it's not required, but it's like kinda required. Okay, so here's level 5 for Sigil. Now, if they're careful with their keys, they might be able to make a little bit more progress than eatmysteel did.
And Forgotten Spot has a level 3.
Well, First Quest level 3 is pretty linear and tends to be a good spot to farm keys early on in the seed. And since eatmysteel already knows they need a couple of keys for the 5, this is a good spot for him to find.
those Zulls definitely going down to the wand. Always a good sight.
Oh, but this level 3 is also key blocked. Oh.
And no shutter door to help save one. And Sigil getting that heart container in 5. Quite early already at 7. The question is, how many are going to be donated to the muggers today? We know we have a required mugger in 7.
Yeah, so this is the room that eatmysteel saw. Sigil's going to move to the left here and see the shoot room, but that lower key door was what was blocking eatmysteel. But Sigil can just go north and go through that key door, because they stole a key from 2.
Oh, shoot. And there's our mags at the fairy power bracelet spot.
Nice job by Sigil to combo the bombs with the bomb wall and get those good doors down pretty quickly here. Wait, what? What just happened? Oh, that's... Somehow that's like the weird one-way staircase, right? Did you see the staircase, Kairos, on the left side on Sigil's screen?
Yeah, that can sometimes get randomized in if it's changing rooms between dungeons.
Oh, Sigil doesn't have the sword, so they don't have enough bombs to kill the dongos.
Yeah, if you have a sword, you can profit bombs, but, well, not today.
That's probably better for Sigil, though. Like, the longer they go without the sword, the harder the seat's going to get, and it's going to make it more difficult for them to prioritize the open doorways that the sword could be under. And he's heading into the part of the forest that he needs to be to go find that sword.
Well, the boss is going down quite easily. Could be minus, could be plus or minus, could be 0 HP.
eatmysteel found a key. I think they bought a key actually, and I was able to start navigating through this 3, see what we got here.
Alright, Sigil gives up the heart to get past that mugger. Aquaman's also going down to a wand hit.
And oh, there's another heart container on the ground. That's good. We saw one on the ground in 2, and this one in 3. Starting to assuage the idea that we have heart shuffle on.
Oh.
Maybe I used the word assuage wrong. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, you said it on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get you now.
I tried to sound fancy. I shouldn't do that. Okay, Sigil needs to head south of here and into this corner, and that'll get him the sword that they're looking for, and not get killed by the Lionels first.
Alright.
Alright, here's our look at the item in 3.
The raft. Well, we have...
Huh. What were you saying?
Yeah, I think if we have vanilla items, we would have vanilla items. We wouldn't shuffle the overworld items as well. So we're still got a mix of things around.
Well, to be fair, the only thing we've seen is that the Coast Heart got shuffled. But the Coast Heart didn't get shuffled into 9 because it's the red ring on the coast. So we're gonna have to, if it was just the Coast Heart getting shuffled, it would have been into 9, and we already saw the Coast Heart.
Yeah, and the shuffle, if shuffle dungeon items is off, you can't. Nothing can be shuffled around. Not even the overworld items.
Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind because I'm sure it'll come up in one of these races.
Yeah. And we do have that, this will be this type of seed where if it was turned off, you can still have the broken shuffle as eatmysteel gets the Triforce out of level 3.
So seeing a lot, the first chunks of Death Mountain here from Sigil. They're bombing up here. They did clear a little bit more of the overworld than eatmysteel, but eatmysteel looks like they're just behind him.
So interesting. We saw bait for 42 near minimum and bait near max at 119.
I mean, one's a convenience mart and one's a grocer, you know. Okay, between our two runners, we're getting a pretty clear overworld here. I think we're really only looking for a couple spots up in that northeast corner.
Alright, Spectacle Rock level 1. Let's go.
And a good entrance for level 1. There's no key doors blocking our way in because eatmysteel's still on 1 key and Sigil's down to 0 after trying to dig out 3. Oh, this patcher's a very good chance this patcher's at the item room for this level 1. And eatmysteel handles it very cleanly. No damage at all on that fight.
And it's a recorder. Where will it take us tonight?
Well, with Mixed Quest Overworld, it'll take us to at least 8 spots we can check.
Sigil also spotting the magical sword, with giving the muggers being very greedy tonight. Probably low chance.
Yeah, plus it looks like this key is going to have a little bit of, or this seed is going to have a little bit of key trouble, although eatmysteel is navigating and is +3 keys in 1. One can gobble up a lot of keys, but he's doing a great job of digging this out without having to open any doors.
No go, Monocle Rock. Level 6. Do we see that on eatmysteel side?
I don't think so. This will be our first trip into 6 as well.
Yep, that's a North Coast Cave.
That's one way to get positive key numbers out of level 1. Any key on the floor up in the right wing of the eagle.
Very nice.
Sigil's already found the transport in this 6, and it brings us right up into the gut, which is a good spot for it, but kind of got that pop-out section of Wizrows surrounding you is not exciting.
P-bombs and wood sword does not make a good time with Wizrobes. And hard on the floor, it's almost assuredly no heart shuffle.
So eatmysteel getting out of this level 1 with a recorder to move and any key to digs. They're going to check this spot here up on East F Mountain, and then I expect them to blow the recorder as soon as they come out of this room.
Maybe go check the record spot just east of here. And if it takes you someplace, you take it.
Good call, good call.
And we went to level 3, which feels that could be either way.
Vanilla unbeaten? Yep, vanilla unbeaten.
No, vanilla beaten.
Oh, yeah, because he has 3 and not 2.
Yeah. Well, there's there's a raft spot checked. Even though we have the raft, and eatmysteel does at least.
Oh, is that where that's from? Thank you, Siri.
Like, I know this one, I just couldn't place it.
X, which was doing our tracking last race, calling up with the flute tune. So this should be the item for Sigil, and it's the ladder. That's a big help. That's also a huge defense boost when they can get back over to the coast.
Plus 2 more spots to check.
And with how nasty this dungeon is, with this Wizrobe room is, they're trapped in here too, so we could probably use that red ring. And it looks like that's their idea. Let's go get this red ring and make this seed a lot more happy for themselves.
Checking some bomb spots on the coast.
We do get to see on eatmysteel's side the hidden super ability of the wand, which is not having to run around chasing the blue bubble in second quest bubble rooms.
All right. Defense acquired for Sigil.
And being right next to those take any's, this is going to bring them, if they go right here, they'll end up right back where eatmysteel found that level 1, and hopefully they can get the any key out of there as well.
Eatmysteel paying another mugger 50 rupees. Had shuttered all the way in. By my count, we found every dungeon but level 4.
Well, fortunately, if we don't have to, we don't need to go into 4. As long as we can find the bow and maybe the silvers, depending on... They could be a 9, so...
Both of them could be in 9 if we got the important items in 9 turned on.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many bosses, so it is possible that we just have like regular bosses and we don't have to worry too much about Goma blocks too. That's a good clear by eatmysteel in that room. Twice they were able to clip into a block to dodge getting hit by one of the blue dark nuts.
Then you got a clip to get around the Triforce, perhaps. Meanwhile, Sigil's digging this level 1. Get some key finds here as well.
Yeah, there's this should be the recorder for Sigil, and then if they clear out the whole dungeon, they'll find the any key. The any key is in the top right corner, which is pretty far away from the Triforce, but with so many items outstanding, I don't see him skipping it.
That is a book. That is translate understand all men, and we know that the hints can be useful because we had randomized hint prices.
Yeah, but we also know that our main combat weapon right now is the wand, so eatmysteel has to debate whether they'd rather have the translation or would they rather just have the clean use of the wand without having to worry about the fires coming out of it.
But this is less of an issue with the first and second quest mix no shapes today.
And Sigil with that red ring is gonna end up clearing this level 1 a little bit faster than eatmysteel did. They've already got their any key out of this corner, and now they just picked up the compass to go find out where they need to get their item.
2Q6 opens up for money. All right.
It looks like Sigil's still digging out this one because they haven't gotten confirmation yet that it is not a heart shuffle seed. So they're going to find this heart on the ground, I believe up in this nose, and then come back and grab the Triforce.
Yeah, it's only a couple extra rooms. No resources wasted. Just a small amount of time. Got that heart.
And for Sigil, having the red ray means that that's really like picking up 4 hearts. So if it makes him feel safer, it's probably worth it.
Might be a donation to a mugger later. Both runners finding level 4 at approximately the same time.
Yeah, Sigil had the Triforce for 2, so it teleported him directly to this 4. Neither runner needs the Triforce in here, but both runners are still looking for both bow and silvers.
And eatmysteel might think that the ladder could be here. There's our not needed Triforce.
This will be a good example of how strong is eatmysteel's combat. Let's see if he can keep up with Sigil as they go through here, with Sigil having the red ring and eatmysteel being on basic tunic.
Frame for frame sync. Oh, nope.
I think eatmysteel checking that. No, he wasn't checking that Triforce for a push block.
I was just comparing the room layout. Make sure it wasn't a bomb wall that needed to be done.
Alright, well here's our item, and okay, that's required.
And time to get out of Dodge here.
Yeah, talk about confidence. Like, eatmysteel just cleared that 4 at the exact same time as Sigil did with a quarter as much defense.
Let's talk about common knowledge of dungeons right now. I think that most of the dungeons both runners have found, except for perhaps 2 and 3, each runner has knowledge of one, not the other. But it's possible.
I don't know if eatmysteel has even seen this 6 yet.
Oh, almost max money at the coast. 149. If you're only going to have one big secret, you might as well make it big, right?
You could also have 6 extra bombs. Sigil finding $80 for a 6-pack.
Dang.
That's cheaper than eggs.
Yep, and eatmysteel's in this level 6 now.
So Sigil's kind of doing this 5 almost like it's go mode. Yeah, they just gotta take this Triforce and get out of here, it looks like.
Yeah, 'cause they already got the stair item.
So that's gonna tie him up on the Triforces. Now it's just a matter of getting the exploration on the overworld and finding the other dungeons.
But eatmysteel is in level 6. This is where the ladder is. Which is just very convenient to have if not required.
This is not a fun room to have to clear with the stats that eatmysteel has right now. Alright, into 7 goes Sigil. They should have everything they need to clear this dungeon unless it's somehow Goma blocked. Oh, leaving 6 is not what eatmysteel needs right now. That's not a good sign. I know there's a lot of overworld checks that they can still make, but
Sigil actually doesn't know where level 3 or 8 is. And we have an outstanding item on the floor in 2.
looks like eatmysteel's up to 10 hearts now, so they could make a max check. It's not likely it's going to hit, but they can attempt it.
Right here, so was not much of a time sink there. Meanwhile, Sigil giving up a heart to the second mugger in 7.
And gets it right back. I believe this is the Triforce room for Sigil. Let's see if they get Y-Force, though. They're right in the middle of this room. Ooh.
Thanks, game, for that compass placement.
Yeah, the compass being down there, though, that makes me think that this is another push block room. Although that doesn't mean very much in 7.
Yep. Push block for remove most open stage flag. I think it was this room right above where Sigil is, might have been where the book was. But maybe not. It's been a little while.
Well, either way, this does tell us that Sigil is going to continue to dig out these dungeons instead of hope that the bow's in 9. Because if there's any dungeon you were going to skip digging out on, it'd be the 6 different staircases you got to check in 7.
Okay, it was 2 rooms above where they were. And Sigil's gonna pick this one up. We have 1 fire and the ability to understand the old men. We have taken away their articles.
Oh, but Sigil moved just far enough away that he's got to clear these blue darkness again.
You gotta be a little bit careful, because even the red ring, still not a lot of hearts.
Sometimes the red ring can make you more greedy than you normally are. Alright, Sigil with Triforce number 6 out of 8. I think they still need to find... You said they still need to find level 3 and
Right.
go back into level 6.
eatmysteel. A screen wrap away from level 2.
So with eatmysteel is going to have a little bit easier time digging this dungeon out. We think that it is Dig Dogger blocked, if I remember correctly. So he'll actually be able to clear this Dig Dogger since he already has the recorder coming in.
And Sigil right behind again.
Well, we're back where we were about 15 minutes ago, with the runners almost in sync with each other.
Sigil got the floor heart pretty early in this dungeon. And Henla, yep.
There's our second item. It's the red candle in here, so not much of a reason to keep digging this out. eatmysteel hasn't seen the heart yet, but he will pretty soon.
Little Sigil knows that was a truthful hint there. Manhandla threatens by lake. Not many spots left by lake to check. But there's the potential that could have been deceptive.
eatmysteel picking up their Triforce out of 2, so now they have equaled up the Triforce race, although we still don't have the runners having the same Triforces. eatmysteel's got to go back into 5.
Sigil going straight to Forgotten Spot. Trying to verify if this hit was correct or not. Lo and behold, it is. Level 3 with the Manji. We have an Atlas as well. Not that we need it for the lovely shapes here, because they're quite standard.
Alright, you guys still going back into 5, getting ready to clear this out. They have seen the heart item on the floor here, so they are just looking for the Triforce.
So with no heart shuffle in our knowledge, the boomerangs and the bow and the white sword are shuffled between 8 and 9.
So there's a 50% chance it's buried in the smaller version of 9, because we have back half second quest. And there's a 50% chance that the bow is that both of our early Triforce dungeons were required.
A little bit less on the level 9, I think, because I mean, you still have to have the important items in 9 turn on.
Right, so like more like I guess a 25% chance. So then that begs the question: if you're both of these runners, what do you do if you get to the point where you have all the Triforces but you don't have the bow yet? You go to 9 because you have a 25% chance of the bow being there, but also you can learn all that information about about where all the spots are, or do you go find that 8 and start digging out second quest 8?
I'd say you go into. I mean, if you feel like you haven't made any serious routing mistakes, I think 8's the odds. But I mean, it is a tough call because you're gonna have to dig 9 regardless. The clerks in the forest were definitely feeling the old men hints in the dungeons have not been shuffled at all.
The Triforce for Sigil in level 3, so he's down to just the Triforce out of 6. eatmysteel won't be very far behind him. He'll be getting his Triforce out of 5 in this room, I believe.
Also, if you happen to see any Goma blocks that are required to get to a Triforce, then you know it's got to be an 8. Even if you already have that Triforce. And so Sigil is marching over to 6, checking some recording spots along the way.
Smart move by Sigil, picking up that potion as their last heart container. Take any. That'll make sure that if they do get red bubble bopped somewhere along the way, they can clear that out. We saw, I want to say Thursday night, or a runner who got into Ganon's room, and then once they walked into Ganon's room, realized they were red bubbled.
Yeah, that's not a good feeling at all.
Fortunately for them, they were ahead by enough that it did not affect the outcome of the race. But it was still them standing there. They stood there and just let Ganon kill them with Hyrule drivers for the fun of it. I have a feeling that eatmysteel either hasn't figured out that heart shuffle's off.
No, he's going for 12 hearts. He wants a good shot at mags.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
He's looking for that one more heart.
And he just found it, so that puts him at 12. He can pick up mags on the way back through.
Assuming that it doesn't roll up like it did in the earlier races.
Is Mags check one of the things that is randomized, where like it's 50% of the time going to be 12 and then 50% of the time randomized?
It is 50% going to be 12, and that 50% will be the 10 to 14. Yeah. So it essentially makes it it layers that 50% on to the normal. It would be 60% if you had it turned on, that flag. So it makes it like 80%.
That is more hints that are true. That hint said that 7 had the book. So there's
It's probably helpful. Makes
Mags
it worse.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it could be mixed still, but I think we've been seeing enough dungeon hints that's probably just a helpful hints today.
eatmysteel was able to pick up Mags there, so they are good to go. What is Sigil leaving without the Triforce for?
This will be the large secret here for Sigil.
Was it? Could it be that the Triforce in 6 was Mugger blocked? Like, do we need the meat? Because I saw him try going south to get to the Triforce. He has the compass, so he knows what room the Triforce is in. It's in, like, the middle of the tail. Here comes, well, okay, let's take a look. eatmysteel should be able to clear this off pretty quickly with that Mags. And they should at some point find this ladder.
eatmysteel using those permanent magical sword beams to just wreck these orange wizrobes. That one blue wizrobe was not able to get rid of with the primary enemy reset.
Yeah, I don't know what Sigil is looking for right now. He's going... I don't even know where he's going right now.
Well, found level 8.
Okay, so with him leaving level 8, I'm gonna guess that he thinks level 6 is meat blocked. Because I didn't see the meat, but if he thought it was bow blocked, he would be going in and trying to find the bow in 6. Yeah, it's gotta be meat blocked. He must have just been trying to find a meat shop.
Well, meat block's going to be in second quest 8, though. Which is where Sigil's going right now.
Well, maybe... Okay, we'll see what Sigil does here, because there's got to be some reason for where he's going. Whereas eatmysteel has found his ladder in 6 now, so they have all of their movement capabilities, but they're still trying to dig out to find where is this Triforce.
Hi, Spiky. More
Nice.
Spikies.
More spikies, a nice mean clock for eatmysteel, who found his clock as everything else died.
And 20 bombs.
Everything go boom. Alright, so eatmysteel has their compass now, so they're just looking for the way to get this Triforce. Well, there's one of the meat block. There's the meat block in A. It doesn't look hard required. We're actually coming in from the bottom on that one. Ooh, Ganon's room. That means Ganon is not in his chamber, and Zelda's probably not in hers either.
And another Spiky. Yeah, break out that wand sigil.
Alright, so to get into that other half of the tower, we're going to have to use a transport in some way.
Did we press that wall hard enough? It's kind of difficult with wall masters, bubbles, and shooters.
It doesn't look like we have to. We'll just bomb this way. eatmysteel also leaving the 6. Yeah. That Triforce has got to be blocked by the bow, I guess.
eatmysteel with the ladder in hand. Finally going to upgrade that to the red ring.
And yeah, it looks like he's also making his way over to this 8, and we're going to have both runners in level 8 looking for what we can only presume is a bow.
Oh my goodness, eatmysteel found another level with the new ring that Invisimode.
Wow. That is pure camouflage.
eatmysteel was doing that earlier, level 7 with the green tunic. Like, thank you, Darkroom.
Oh, hey, that's what he looks like. Okay.
Yeah, Cloak of Invisibility does not work in the dark.
Sigil is doing... It's a good thing there's 20 bombs here, because these doggos are being very mean. They keep seeing the smoke and just walking right through it. From what we've seen on Sigil's side, it looks like this bow is in that center tail area. This is their first time getting into that section.
eatmysteel only getting the pleasure of one bomb upgrade so far.
But this was the push block that Sigil spent a couple extra minutes trying to find.
Oh, there's Red Bubble Bop.
Alright, well at least we gotta come back through that room. It looks like that staircase is a one-off somehow. This looks like it's one of them. Nope, not yet. Still can't get there.
So which boomerang are we gonna find first in here?
No, that'd be very cruel. I don't think there's any place else in the actual dungeons we could.
I mean, it could be the white sword. It's either it was the wooden boomerang.
So if the runners are if what we have from both the runners is true, then the other item in here has to be the bow, and the white sword and the magical boomerang are in 9.
Our duplicated magical boomerang, since that was our starting item. Alright, eatmysteel got made away to the Triforce room.
Okay, so this I'm pretty sure this has to be the room that has our item in it, because Sigil's seen every other room in this dungeon. Nope, I was wrong. I was wrong somehow. He's seen every room but the correct room. There we go. Final at 108.31. Sigil's in go mode. Need to head back to 6, get that Triforce, and find 9.
Sigil walking right past the magical sword spot because, well, 9's not gonna do it.
It looked like Tracy, or it looked like that was in the lower section of the L, like at the very bottom of the L in Corral.
Alright, Sigil back in level 6.
Yep, there's our shuttered door Goma block.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was so quick probably seeing that before you go the other way to dig out the rest of 6 that missed it earlier.
Ironically, I think Sigil had been red bubbled all the way up until they picked up that Triforce and just didn't need it.
And so you got a wand. Wood sword's not that great, except for when you're trying to fight Wizardrobes.
Alright, we're on our way into 9, looking for two things in here. We're looking for the Roar of Ganon to tell us which direction to go to fight the pig, and we're looking for the Door of Zelda. The shutter door does not open even if we kill all the enemies, or it opens once we've killed Ganon despite the enemies. Of course, we've got a Wizrobe 9.
And we had all directions open from the get-go.
So we want that. That's half the puzzle. Up in the ears. I like this. Oh, go ahead.
No roar right below Zelda.
Yeah, I like this play though. Like, go check this corner where Zelda is, and then if it's not, we'll go somewhere else. But let's check this first, because if Ganon's just like 1 south of Zelda, you're gonna feel kind of silly if you dig other ways. Now I think Sigil picked up a potion a long time ago, and I think they still have it. So that'll help them when they find Ganon, make sure that the red bubbles are not a concern. But there's a lot of beams getting thrown around here.
And not in the upper left hand ear. Go up this time. Another shoot room.
Still no roar. Sigil has kind of gotten next to a lot of these rooms. Whereas eatmysteel should be finding his ladder in this room right here. Or sorry, his bow in this room right here. So they'll be on their way to 6 to grab their last Triforce.
Sigil has been next to every room except for 3 so far.
Yeah, they're gonna spend this potion here to get their sword beams back so that they can fight this wizard room. Nice combat there, using up the bombs.
Immediately red bubbled again. Of course, Petra. But here's Ganon.
Here's Ganon, so gonna have to pop this red potion now just to be able to hit Ganon. But he only has 1 hit point.
And clear path to the princess. Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah, it looks like eatmysteel's just gonna run out of time, even The only thing that would stop Sigil now is to get hit by a lot of wizard rope beams.
Well, you gotta do a block clip through the turnstile here. Let's try that once more.
Well, eatmysteel at least is trying to go in the correct direction, but the problem is that eatmysteel does not have a potion, so they keep getting hit by these red bubbles. Oh no! Sigil takes a death to like. Oh.
It's a long path for the no staircase path here, as we have seen 0 staircases on Sigil's side.
So eatmysteel's found Ganon. Well, has at least heard Ganon.
Half a heart though. It has a full potion. Gonna drink that immediately. Not let one fireball get shot off.
That's the kill by eatmysteel, so that's a Triforce in hand. But eatmysteel also doesn't know where the princess is yet.
But the door opens and get your GGs out for Sigil, finishing this race first place with a race time GG 1 hour 17 minutes and 22 seconds.
Very tight race by both runners, very convoluted seed, and they both did really well job to navigate this in under 80 minutes.
Good guys on ground. That's what they're calling this version of it. And wrong gear.
And we have in the booth with us our winner tonight, Sigil. Congratulations.
Thank you.
GG.
I got nervous at the end there.
Yeah, there was a bit of a clunky death there with all those Wizro beams on the way to Zelda.
Yeah, I thought I had an extra half of heart.
Oh, yeah, you thought you had the extra health off of the red ring, so you could take one more bop.
And GG's to eatmysteel, finishing second place with time of 1 hour 19 minutes and 25 seconds.
So how did it feel to have to find all the dungeons you started with and then clear both of them?
I was not happy about that 2Q8. I'm glad I found it at the end, though.
What makes you glad you found it at the end?
I probably would have dug it early.
That would have been painful. Well, more painful.
And we have our second place finisher, eatmysteel, here in the booth with us. Good game, sir.
Thank you. GG, Sigil.
GG Steel.
Yeah, you guys. I mean, one heck of a race. It was close all the way through. I mean, there were times that you guys were just synced up, room for room. I mean, you found level 4 right the same with within seconds of each other.
Yeah, your level 4s were within pixels of being identical. Like, multiple times killing the same guy at the same time in each room, so...
So I'm guessing me seeing pretty much every single room in level 8 was the difference?
No, actually, it was just that Sigil found the ladder much earlier than you. He also saw every room in 8.
I triple dipped 6.
Yeah, I double did. I mean, I had to, pretty much.
So, Sigil, I got one question for you. So, when you got that hint for a level 3 location, was it a last location anyway, or did it actually help out?
It helped out narrowing what I wanted to do, since that was my last lake location, I think, besides the raft.
Yeah, eatmysteel, you actually started off this race a little bit ahead because you found the wood sword relatively early. I think Sigil found it after the 10-minute mark.
I found it just about at 20 minutes.
Yeah, but you had the wand for a little bit, so it wasn't quite as severe.
Yeah, at that point, the runs were very close to identical, but Sigil was able to go into 6 with, I think, with a little bit more hearts than you were, eatmysteel, and then found that ladder early, which gave them the red ring as well to start digging through everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, fortunately, this is just the Swiss seed, so we're just playing for seeding right now. Is there any way these seeds could be less evil, do you think?
Not having to dig a 2Q8 every time?
I agree with that one.
It's like, give us our shapes every time, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm a proponent of taking all the stairs, and even I hate 2Q8.
I was just hoping you didn't dig 2Q8 before me when I found out Triforce was bow blocked.
Yeah, no, that's going to be the last thing I possibly do, is going into that 2Q8 and kept not finding what we needed, and then sure enough, pretty sure it was going to happen.
I almost last locationed 2Q level 8.
I actually didn't do that much of the overworld. I got to skip a lot of the overworld, fortunately, but didn't pay off in the end.
Yeah, after both of you were in force simultaneously, you diverged because eatmysteel, you had found 3, and Sigil had found 2. So both of you spent time finding each other's missing dungeons, and then both of you went back, and then from there on out, your races looked very similar. Just that Sigil was able to clear out a little bit faster just with that red ring, and it slowly built up that 2-minute lead that ended up being the end of the race.
Yeah, I actually felt good for a little while when I found 1 way up in the Death Mountain. That was the only part of Death Mountain I dug, was the East Death Mountain. So I was like, oh, I got the recorder, and kind of felt like I was a little off to the races there, but 8 stymied all my hopes and dreams.
And I think the bow was ladder blocked automatically.
Oh, I can't imagine you. It looked like you had to go through almost every room in that 8 because you had to like go into the left-hand side, traverse the left-hand side, then teleport to the middle, then teleport to the top, then teleport back to the inner tail. Like it had to have been ladder block.
Yeah, I know I at least went through a Chevy room
Probably
after
more
the
than
last
one.
staircase.
Yeah, I don't know for sure about that because you could take that first staircase and then just go east and take the stair that took you over there. I don't know if anything ladder blocked in between. But it could have been quick if you went the right way.
No, we both of you took almost identical paths.
Yeah, you just have all those rooms over there in the west of 8, so that's kind of where you like to start digging. You got a lot of area there, but no, wasn't there.
Well, good run for both of you, and thank you for giving us the restream.
Thank you for the comps and tracking.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good GG's, Sigil.
GG's against Steel.
Kairos, do you have any last questions or?
No more. No questions here.
Well, with that being said, thank you everybody who stuck around. All 200 of you watching who watched the first race and stuck around for this one. We will have more races coming up tomorrow night, and then week 4 will kick off starting next Monday.
Yep. So tomorrow we do have Psytown versus Kingdoll, and we have Cafe JD versus Adironic Rick. Both are 2-0 matches. Yeah. And then we got a couple of matches scheduled for Sunday before the Wheel of Doom for week 4.
I want to say thanks to our tracker tonight, Pedantic Potato, for helping us out, keeping all of our overlays up to date. And say thanks to our runners again. Make sure you give them a follow with the links that are in chat now. And we will see you all tomorrow. Have a good night, friends.
Good night.